Hi, today I'm going to introduce my design about providing practice opportunities in socializing with native speakers of target language based on Wechat. My presentation will be structured into 4 parts. The first one is problem statement, the second one is design, the third one is criticism analysis, and the last one is conclusion. For the first one, my target audience is non-Chinese learners in the context of school or university foreign language classroom setting. Because they are encountered more isolated or confined circumstances, therefore there are lack of opportunities of socializing with native speakers outside of classroom. Here, language socialization is very essential for this design. It is a process of using language to construct social events and acquire language competence through socialization. The process revealed in 2 layers. The first one, participants gain language ability through interaction with a community. And the second one, they are using language as a medium to socialize in the community. The process of language socialization can help learners of a foreign language gradually acquire a competence in the language while achieving membership in that community. Therefore, language socialization is essential for language learning. Second, language socialization share many similar principles with language socialization. It is usually mediated by those experts to such novices. Experts such as teachers, tutors, they can be mentors or agents into process of socialization. Those mentors or agents help novices to acquire the knowledge of the target language. It is a very broad and complex concept. People can be socialized into a target community by in-classroom instruction, which is mediated by teachers, or they can be socialized through online chatting room with other people worldwide. Considering the dominance of social media in our daily life, it is powerful to apply social media into language learning. Moreover, the environment of classroom is constrained. The time, the learning source, and the practice opportunities are all limited. Therefore, the goal of this design is to help learners to have more opportunities to socialize with native Chinese speakers without constraint of time, space, and learning source. In order to facilitate learners functioning successfully on Wechat, exploring some unique features of Wechat is crucial to help Chinese language learners. The second one is the design. Why using Wechat? The virtual community construct by Wechat is one of the most active social media in nowadays China. It is a huge amount of Chinese end users. Meanwhile, it provides a venue of Chinese language learners to reach out Chinese community outside classrooms. Due to difficulties of reaching out to the Chinese communities in the United States, Wechat provides a shortcut for students to connect virtually with these populations. Moreover, Wechat designed full functions that provide different ways for people to get known to each other. One is called Shake and another one is called People Nearby. These 2 ways help learners to meet strangers who are native Chinese speakers. Therefore, I choose Wechat as a platform. At the beginning of the semester, one class meeting is devoted to introducing Wechat and Wechat project to the students. In this class, students created their own Wechat account and experiment with using different functions. Meanwhile, the class Wechat groups are created. Later, the teachers will add native language volunteers in the Wechat groups. These volunteers are both students, mentors, and language partners. For the online activities, there are 3 parts. First one is the question and answering part. In this group, are encouraged to ask questions based on the following guides, the 5 categories. But also, they are encouraged to ask something else. Teachers will be the supervisors in the group and record the chats that they think it is important to discuss online or in class. The second one is the mini text. This part contains 2 kinds of text, mini writing text and mini oral text. Every week after class, the teacher asks students to do such projects on the topic they are interested in. Students are encouraged to read and listen to each other's homework and post comments. Also, volunteers and teachers will be the supervisors and check their works and give advice or feedbacks. The third one is the socializing test. They are encouraging to add new Chinese friends to their Wechat through different ways. Teachers will give a little text for them, for example, asking students to send greeting that is limited to 50 characters to other users. That's the challenge is how to introduce oneself and greeting strangers appropriately. There are several theoretical supports for my design. The first one is the collaborative learning. I created this group chatting, which is lead to deeper level of learning, and it also provide opportunities for developing different skills. The second one is to generate learning communities, and the third one is the anchor instructions. For the third part, there are some strengths. They are building a target community and encourage participatory culture and co-creation of meaning. And the weakness including for information chaos, constraint of Wechat, and insecurity. These fragmented forms of micro-communication serve the sampling function of social ecosystems, allow the learners to collect a lot of bits of information about the community, about the knowledge, and to give them an insight into patterns and truth that inform future choice and interactions, which is very important for language socializations. And they're also encouraging participatory culture because they're encouraging to ask students, to ask others. And also their answers may not be correct, but everyone share their opinions and co-create a collective meaning of the answers of the questions. And the weakness about including the information chaos, because group chat may create tons of messages. Students may spend more time daily replying the messages from the classmates. And the second one is the constraint of Wechat, because students are socialized into a constrained environment that is only limited to the context of social media, and they can also be socialized into Chinese language and culture that is specifically appears on Wechat. And third one is insecurity, because communicating with strangers may create some kind of potential of personal information leaking or harassment. For the conclusion, for Chinese learning teaching, one important concern is how to facilitate non-native speakers of Chinese to socialize into the target Chinese communities, including online communities. This design takes Wechat as a venue for Chinese language learners to socialize in a vast community that is not restricted by time or place, but nonetheless constrained by the cultural and social norms.